Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the low poly technique in Adobe Illustrator. So in the screen there are two posters that I created as a passion project for biology class. And basically, since my passion is graphic design, I decided to combine graphic design along with biology. And what I did was I did these posters on the axolotl and the monarch butterfly, both species that reside in Mexico. And how I mixed my passion along with the schoolwork was with these posters, and I did this cool low poly technique in which these animals are made out of polygons or triangles. So today I'm going to show you how to do those animals, and hopefully you can integrate this technique into any school projects that you have in order to combine your passions with your project. Just a disclaimer, you do need some basic Illustrator skills for this tutorial, such as knowing the basics, like what's the pen, what's the selection tool, how to work with layers, duplicating, reflecting. It's pretty basic, but you do need some basic knowledge in order to follow through. But other than that, it's really easy. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is open Illustrator and open up a new document. And in order to create this, you will need an image. In this case, we'll be using this dog. Basically, we're using this because it's symmetrical, so we can just do half of its face and then just copy-paste the other half, so we don't have to do a lot of it. But you can choose whichever image you want. I just decided to go along with it. So right now I'm just adjusting the image to the artboard. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to lock the layer that the dog is in and then add a new layer. And using our pen tool, we want to make sure we turn off the fill, and the stroke, we put it in a red color so it's visible. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be dividing the dog's face in half, as I said previously with the symmetrical thing. So we'll only be doing half of it. And then I'm just going to start outlining all of the dog's face, and make sure to just keep straight lines, because with this we'll be doing our triangles inside of the dog. So I'm also going to be tracing out some specific features, such as the eyes, because it's a different shape, and I will also go along and do an outline of the nose. And now I'm just going to start doing triangles. So all you have to do is with your pen tool, you just start making lines. So usually what you want to do is you want to make it from one anchor to the other. You just want to connect them, make lines, triangles, and you don't have to make like the whole shape, because later we will be dividing it up and we can just make triangles out of all those lines. Also, as a tip, if you happen to close up a path, you need to remember to use your selector tool with the V key and just click out of that path and then start again, just so you don't start deleting or adding anchors where you don't want them to be. So that's what we're going to do here. You're going to select all of your strokes when you're done, and you're going to go to Pathfinder and click on Divide, which is that button there, and that's going to make that. And if you use the key Command Y, you can see an outline of all your strokes. And here what I'm doing is I'm finding some of those anchor points that didn't reach the same point, and I'm going to be joining them together. So for example, I found one there, and with my selector tool that can be used with the key A, you can just use it to find the anchor and move the anchor to where all of the other intersect. Okay, so now that I have everything as I want it to be, I'm going to change that color to green, because I have my strokes as red and that also is red. So now we're going to start coloring, but this time when we select it, now it's going to be green so we can differentiate it. So what we're going to do to create these to color these in is we're going to just select the triangle that we want, and then with the eyedropper tool, we're going to select the area inside of the triangle, and that will automatically color in the triangle that you chose. But just keep in mind that you have to select the triangle, make sure it's the triangle you have selected. So this is one technique of coloring it in. The other technique is just to also grab the eyedropper tool, grab a sample, and then just find the outline of the triangle and color it in, rather than clicking on each of the triangles. Sometimes that technique works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's the basis of it. So now that we're done coloring it, we're going to start duplicating it. So we locked off that layer, the original layer of the polygon, and we created a new one. We copy-pasted all of the vectors and triangles we had, and then just transformed or reflected it, a vertical reflection. And now what we're going to do is we are going to adjust the angle of it so it lines up with the other half of the dog. And this is basically it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you don't know anything about Illustrator, then it's going to be really hard for you to follow it. But if you know some basics, then you can just follow along and do it. Thanks.